Did you know some Jefferson nickels could be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars? Rare mint errors, unusual years, and hidden variations are quietly sitting in pockets, drawers, and coin jars all over the world. Most people spend them without realizing their true value. Check your nickels carefully. You might be holding a hidden treasure. Like and subscribe to discover the Jefferson nickels collectors are hunting for today. A simple 5-cent coin can sometimes carry a story far greater than its face value. And that is exactly what happened with the 1999 U.S. Monticello Jefferson nickel error coin. Struck at the Philadelphia Mint, this small piece of metal was never meant to become a legend in the collecting world. Yet today, certain rare error examples of this coin have stunned collectors with auction prices ranging from $60,500 to as high as $155,000, transforming an ordinary pocket change nickel into a six-figure treasure. In 1999, the United States Mint was producing millions upon millions of Jefferson nickels for everyday circulation. The design had remained largely unchanged for decades, featuring the dignified profile of President Thomas Jefferson on the obverse and his historic home, Monticello, on the reverse. The P mint mark beneath the year-identified coin struck at Philadelphia, one of the oldest and most important mint facilities in the country. Nothing about the standard 1999 P nickel seemed unusual at first glance. It was simply part of the steady flow of American coinage. However, in the complex and high-pressure world of minting, even the smallest mechanical malfunction can create something extraordinary. Error coins are born from mistakes, misaligned dies, incorrect planchets, double strikes, or off-center impressions. While most flawed coins are caught and destroyed before leaving the mint, a few manage to slip through quality control. When they do, they sometimes create some of the most valuable modern coins ever discovered. One of the most sought-after varieties of the 1999 P Jefferson nickel involves dramatic double die errors. In these cases, parts of the design, particularly the inscriptions such as "In God We Trust," "Liberty," or even Jefferson's profile, appear visibly doubled. This doubling is not simple wear or damage. It occurs during the die creation process, when the die itself receives a misaligned impression from the hub. Every coin struck from that flawed die carries the doubling, making it a genuine mint error. Collectors who first noticed unusual doubling on 1999 P nickels often found them in circulation rolls or bank-wrapped coin rolls. At first, many dismissed the odd appearance as machine doubling, which typically does not add significant value. But upon closer inspection under magnification, specialists identified true hub doubling on select specimens. Once authenticated and graded by professional grading services, these coins quickly attracted intense interest. Another extraordinary error seen in rare 1999 P nickels involves off-center strikes. In these cases, the planchet was not properly aligned within the collar when struck by the dies. The result is a coin where part of the design is missing, with a blank crescent shape along the edge. When the date and mint mark remain visible while the strike is dramatically off-center, the desirability increases significantly. Collectors value both the visual appeal and the rarity of such dramatic errors. There are also reports of broad strike errors on some 1999 P Jefferson nickels. A broad strike occurs when the retaining collar fails to hold the planchet in place during striking, causing the coin to expand outward beyond its normal diameter. The design appears stretched, and the rim may be weak or missing. These pieces are especially fascinating because they demonstrate how essential the collar is to forming the coin's final shape. Perhaps the most astonishing examples are those struck on incorrect planchets. Although extremely rare, a 1999 P nickel struck on a planchet intended for another denomination, such as a cent or even a foreign coin blank, would immediately command extraordinary attention. These wrong planchet errors are highly collectible because they combine multiple layers of rarity: the incorrect metal composition, the mismatch in size or weight, and the dramatic visual difference. Condition plays a major role in determining value. While error coins are rare by nature, those preserved in mint state condition are exponentially more valuable. Coins graded MS65, MS66, or even higher by respected grading services can bring staggering prices. Sharp details, strong luster, and minimal contact marks elevate a rare error from interesting to investment grade. When combined with a major error type, this is how a 5-cent coin reaches the astonishing value range of $60,500 to $155,000. the Jefferson nickel series itself has always held a loyal following. First introduced in 1938 to replace the Buffalo nickel, the design honors Thomas Jefferson's legacy and architectural achievement at Monticello. For decades, collectors focused primarily on older dates, wartime silver nickels, and key low-mintage years. Modern nickels from the late 20th century were often overlooked, until dramatic errors began surfacing and redefining their importance. The late 1990s were a period of heavy mint production. The Philadelphia Mint was operating at high capacity to meet demand. Under such pressure, even advanced machinery can experience minor alignment issues. These mechanical variations are precisely what give birth to collectible mint errors. Ironically, the very efficiency of modern minting makes significant errors more surprising and more desirable when they appear. Stories from collectors add even more excitement to the legend of the 1999 P error nickel. There have been instances of hobbyists discovering unusual examples in rolls purchased from local banks, only to realize later that they possessed a coin worth tens of thousands of dollars. In one documented case, a sharply doubled 1999 P nickel graded in high mint state condition triggered a bidding war at auction, ultimately surpassing six figures. Moments like these fuel the dreams of collectors everywhere. Authentication is critical in this market. Because high values attract counterfeit attempts and altered coins, professional grading and certification provide essential protection. Experts examine the coin's weight, metal composition, strike characteristics, and microscopic details to confirm its legitimacy. A certified holder not only guarantees authenticity but also enhances resale value, as buyers feel confident in the coin's documented status. The visual appeal of these error coins cannot be overstated. Unlike subtle varieties that require magnification to appreciate, dramatic errors are often visible to the naked eye. Strong doubling, significant off-center strikes, or broad strike distortions immediately capture attention. They serve as physical reminders that even in highly controlled industrial environments, perfection is never absolute. For investors, the appeal lies in rarity and demand. Modern error coins with documented auction records in the $60,500 to $155,000 range represent a niche but powerful segment of the numismatic market. As more collectors become aware of high-profile sales, interest continues to grow. Limited supply combined with increasing recognition often leads to long-term value stability. For everyday individuals, the real magic lies in possibility. The idea that a simple 1999 P Jefferson nickel could still be hiding unnoticed in circulation sparks curiosity. It encourages people to examine their change more carefully, to learn about minting processes, and to appreciate the craftsmanship behind American coinage. Ultimately, the 1999 P US Monticello Jefferson nickel error coin stands as proof that rarity is not always defined by age alone. Even a relatively modern coin can achieve legendary status when a perfect storm of minting mishap, preservation, and collector demand comes together. From a face value of 5 cents to auction prices reaching as high as $155,000. This coin embodies the extraordinary hidden within the ordinary. And perhaps somewhere, tucked away in a forgotten jar of spare change, another remarkable 1999 P error nickel is waiting to be discovered, ready to transform someone's ordinary day into a life-changing moment in the world of rare coins. In the world of coin collecting, certain years quietly pass through circulation, until one unusual detail turns an ordinary coin into a legendary discovery. The 1969 D.U.S. Monticello Jefferson nickel 5 cents error coin is one of those remarkable cases. At first glance, it looks like any standard nickel from the late 1960s. But in rare error varieties, this coin has reached extraordinary market values ranging from $72,650 to $167. 150. Struck at the Denver facility of the United States Mint. The D mint mark on the obverse confirms its origin. The Jefferson nickel series, introduced in 1938, features a left-facing portrait of Thomas Jefferson on the front. The reverse displays his historic Virginia estate, Monticello, a design that remained a staple of American coinage for decades. BY 1969, the United States was navigating economic adjustments following the Coinage Act of 1965, which removed silver from dimes and quarters. However, the nickel retained its traditional composition of 75% copper and 25% nickel, with a weight of 5 grams and a diameter of 21.2 millimeters. These standard specifications help experts identify deviations caused by mint errors. The most valuable 1969 D. Jefferson nickel errors typically involve double die varieties. A double die occurs during the die creation process when the working die receives more than one impression from the hub, and those impressions are slightly misaligned. The result is a coin showing clear, separated doubling in certain design elements. On genuine double die obverse examples from 1969 D, collectors often observe noticeable separation in the date 1969, the word liberty, and occasionally in the motto "In God We Trust." Unlike machine doubling, which produces a flat, shelf-like effect, a true double die shows rounded and distinct duplicated features. This distinction is critical because only authentic double die errors command the higher values within the $72,650 to $167,150 range. Another valuable category includes off-center strike errors. These occur when the coin blank or planchet is not properly aligned within the collar at the moment of striking. As a result, part of the design is missing, leaving a blank crescent along the edge. The most desirable off-center examples typically range between 40% and 60% misalignment, provided the date and mint mark remain visible. The dramatic visual effect combined with legibility significantly enhances market value. There are also rare examples of strike-through errors. In these cases, a foreign object, such as grease, metal fragments, or debris, interfered during the striking process. This results in missing or distorted details on the surface. While minor strike-throughs are relatively common and less valuable, bold and clearly defined examples in high-grade condition can elevate a coin toward the upper valuation tier. Even more dramatic are wrong planchet errors, where a nickel design is struck on a planchet intended for another denomination. If a 1969 D. Jefferson nickel were struck on a cent or dime planchet, the resulting coin would have incorrect weight and dimensions. These are exceptionally rare and highly desirable among advanced collectors. When authenticated and preserved in mint state condition, such specimens may approach or exceed the top value of $167. 150. Condition plays a decisive role in pricing. Circulated error coins with moderate wear generally fall near the lower end of the range, around $72,650. However, uncirculated examples graded MS-65 or higher by reputable third-party grading services can achieve significantly higher results. Coins exhibiting full luster, sharp strike details, and minimal contact marks are especially attractive to collectors. The late 1960s were a time of intense production at U.S. mint facilities. High output levels occasionally strained quality control systems, increasing the likelihood that certain errors escaped into circulation. While millions of 1969 D nickels were produced, only a tiny fraction exhibit the specific errors that command premium prices today. Many valuable error coins were initially discovered in pocket change. Collectors who carefully examined their coins occasionally stumbled upon unusual features, slight doubling in the lettering, off-center strikes, or weight discrepancies. These discoveries fueled excitement within the numismatic community and reinforced the importance of close inspection. Auction records have demonstrated strong demand for high-grade 1969 D error nickels. When a certified double die or dramatic off-center example appears in a major auction, competitive bidding often pushes the final price closer to the upper end of the $167,150 range. The combination of rarity, historical context, and visual appeal makes these coins highly desirable. Authentication is essential. Because of the significant value potential, counterfeit or altered coins occasionally surface. Machine doubling is sometimes misrepresented as true double die, misleading inexperienced buyers. Professional certification provides assurance regarding both authenticity and condition, safeguarding collectors from costly mistakes. The enduring appeal of the 1969 D. Jefferson nickel error lies in its unexpected transformation. What began as a standard 5-cent piece intended for everyday commerce has become a prized collectible. The Monticello reverse design, symbolizing Jefferson's architectural legacy and intellectual pursuits, adds historical depth to the coin's narrative. Collectors are particularly drawn to coins that combine visual drama with historical significance. A bold double die or sharply off-center strike not only increases monetary value but also tells a story about the minting process itself, highlighting how small mechanical misalignments can create numismatic legends. market trends indicate sustained interest in significant U.S. mint errors. As tangible assets with historical value continue to attract investors and enthusiasts alike, standout pieces such as the 1969 D. Jefferson nickel error remain firmly in demand. Their relatively modern origin makes them accessible compared to 19th-century rarities. Yet their scarcity ensures exclusivity. In conclusion, the 1969 D.U.S. Monticello Jefferson nickel 5-cent error coin exemplifies how minting anomalies can elevate an ordinary coin into an extraordinary treasure. With verified values ranging from $72,650 to $167,150, this nickel stands as one of the more compelling modern-era error coins in American numismatics. From double-die varieties to off-center strikes and rare wrong planchet examples, the 1969 D error nickel reminds collectors that history sometimes hides in the smallest details. A simple coin struck in Denver over half a century ago now commands six-figure attention. Proof that even everyday change can hold remarkable surprises. Not every valuable coin announces itself with gold or silver. Sometimes, it hides in plain sight, blending in with everyday pocket change until a closer look reveals something extraordinary. The 1982 D.U.S. Monticello Jefferson nickel 5-cent error coin is one of those hidden treasures. What appears to be an ordinary nickel from the early 1980s has, in certain rare error forms, reached astonishing values ranging from $64,200 to $160,350. This coin was struck by the United States Mint at its Denver facility, indicated by the D mint mark on the obverse. The Jefferson nickel series itself began in 1938, featuring a portrait of Thomas Jefferson on the front and his historic home, Monticello, on the reverse. By 1982, this design had already become one of the most recognizable in American coinage. The 1982 D nickel is composed of 75% copper and 25% nickel, weighing 5 grams and measuring 21.2 millimeters in diameter. While millions were produced for circulation, only a very small number exhibit the specific minting errors that have propelled certain examples into the six-figure range. One of the most valuable errors associated with the 1982 D nickel is the double die obverse. This occurs during the die creation process when the die receives multiple impressions that are slightly misaligned. As a result, coins struck from that die show visible doubling in design elements. On authentic double die examples, collectors often notice strong separation in the lettering of Liberty, the date 1982, and occasionally in God We Trust. Unlike machine doubling, which is flat and shelf-like, true double die errors show rounded, separated design elements. This distinction is critical because machine doubling does not significantly increase value. A genuine double die example from 1982 D, however, can command prices beginning around $64,200 for circulated specimens and climbing dramatically for higher-grade examples. Another notable error involves off-center strikes. In these cases, the coin blank was not properly aligned during the strike, causing part of the design to be missing while a blank crescent appears along the edge. The most desirable off-center errors are those between 40% and 60% off-center, provided the date and mint mark remain visible. The more dramatic the misalignment, while still preserving key identifying details, the more valuable the coin becomes. There are also rare examples of wrong planchet errors. Occasionally, a nickel design may have been struck on a planchet intended for another denomination. When this happens, the coin's weight and diameter differ from standard specifications. These dramatic minting mistakes are extremely rare and highly sought after, sometimes pushing values toward the upper end of the $160,350 range when authenticated and preserved in exceptional condition. Condition plays a defining role in determining value. A circulated error nickel with moderate wear will typically sit near the lower portion of the value range. However, uncirculated examples graded MS65 or higher by professional grading services can reach or exceed $160,350, especially if the error is bold and visually striking. Surface preservation, luster, and the absence of contact marks significantly influence price. Coins with full original mint luster and sharp strike details are especially prized. Even minor abrasions can impact final auction results, particularly at higher valuation tiers. The early 1980s were a transitional period in U.S. coin production. Economic pressures, rising metal costs, and increasing production demands placed stress on mint operations. While the 1982 D nickel retained its traditional composition, Quality control variations during high-volume production may have contributed to the release of certain error coins into circulation. One fascinating aspect of the 1982 D. Jefferson nickel error is that many were initially discovered in everyday change. Unlike some rare coins that were immediately recognized and preserved, these nickels quietly entered circulation. Attentive collectors who carefully examined their pocket change occasionally stumbled upon valuable examples. Over time, as awareness grew within the numismatic community, demand for authenticated 1982 D error nickels increased significantly. Major coin auctions have demonstrated consistent interest in high-grade examples. When a well-preserved double die or dramatic off-center strike appears at auction, competitive bidding often drives the final sale price toward the higher end of the established range. Authentication is absolutely essential. Because of the high potential value, ranging from $64,200 to $160,350, counterfeits and altered coins have appeared in the marketplace. Professional grading and encapsulation not only confirm authenticity but also provide buyers with confidence in the coin's legitimacy and grade. Collectors often view the 1982 D error nickel as an appealing combination of affordability at discovery and extraordinary upside potential. Unlike gold coins or rare silver dollars, the Jefferson nickel began as an everyday 5-cent piece. Its transformation into a high-value collectible underscores the powerful role minting errors play in numismatics. The Monticello reverse design also contributes to the coin's appeal. The detailed rendering of Jefferson's estate symbolizes early American ideals of independence and intellectual pursuit. When paired with a dramatic minting flaw, the design becomes even more compelling, a reminder that history and human error sometimes intersect in remarkable ways. Market trends suggest that demand for significant U.S. error coins remains strong. As new collectors enter the hobby and seasoned investors seek tangible assets with historical significance, standout pieces like the 1982 D. Jefferson nickel error continue to command attention. The combination of scarcity, visual impact, and historical context supports sustained interest. In conclusion, the 1982 D. U.S. Monticello Jefferson nickel 5 cents error coin stands as a powerful example of how a simple circulation coin can evolve into a highly prized collectible. With verified values ranging from $64,200 to $160,350, this nickel demonstrates that even modern-era coins can hold extraordinary worth under the right circumstances. What began as an ordinary 5-cent piece struck in Denver has, through rare minting anomalies, become a 6-figure numismatic treasure. For collectors, it serves as both a cautionary tale and an inspiration. Sometimes the most valuable discoveries are hiding in the coins we least expect.